Hey, what's up, YouTubers? It's me again, Brian, aka Gamer55551, and I am back with a My Two Cent Switch/gaming video for this week, where I took a look at some of the stories that caught my attention and give you my thoughts and my opinion. Before we get started, I'm sure most of you, especially those in the comic book world, have heard about Stan Lee unfortunately passing away at the age of 95, though, and I want to send out my condolences and my heart to Stan Lee and his family, though. He certainly was a iconic comic book creator and made a lot of iconic, legendary characters that a lot of us remember till this day, whether it's Daredevil, Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, X-Men, Thor, Captain America, and so forth, though. And to see these iconic characters on the big screen, especially with the success of the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, though, he definitely left a legacy out there. And it's going to be very difficult to watch a lot of these Marvel movies and these MCU movies without seeing him make an appearance, like a little Easter egg and all that stuff. So I want to send my hearts and condolences out to Stan Lee's family and to everyone out there, and my heart goes out to him. He will certainly be missed, and I certainly have respect for him, especially someone who was a World War II vet, if I remember reading that correctly. Alright, so why don't we get started with our My Two Cent video for this week, and for this one we'll start off with the first one, and this has to do with PlatinumGames. Now, anybody has heard of Platinum before and have seen a lot of their games make an appearance on several consoles. For Nintendo fans, the name should be recognized because they're the ones that brought over games like one of my personal favorite I would love to see again, Mad World, to the DS Infinity Space, to of course Bayonetta, and of course Bayonetta 2, a game that would never have happened had Nintendo had not stepped in and say, hey, we'll fund this game if you make an exclusive to their system. They've also done games like The Wonderful 101, and last year they also teamed up with Square Enix and released Nier Automata, which was definitely an enjoyable and fun game. Not to mention, should show proof that single-player games are not dead, despite as some people out there have said. Well, apparently PlatinumGames may be working on several more games for the Nintendo Switch. Apparently this has to do with a rumor that's caught on by someone by the name of, if I'm saying the name correctly, if I can look it up, I think the name is Leaky Panda, though. From an article on comicbook.com, link will be in the description, it basically is saying, quote, a report from Nintendo Insider has indicated that Leaky Panda, who serves as a group devoted to gaming and entertainment industry news and rumors, has noted that not only is PlatinumGames working on the Switch, but Hideo Kamiya, the famed director of various games including the Bayonetta series, is behind all three. Now, one has been confirmed to be the third chapter of the Bayonetta series, which they showed off that teaser trailer last year at the VGA Awards, which was revealed late last year and is still without a release date. However, the other two games are a mystery. You can see the note from Leaky Panda below. And basically what Leaky Panda wrote based on is that PlatinumGames has two more games for the Switch besides Bayonetta 3. Hideki Kamiya, if I'm saying the name correctly, if I'm not, apologize, is credited in all three of them, both Bayonetta 3 and a second game targeted towards 2019. Now, it's worth pointing out that, like anything, this is a rumor. So at this time, we don't know if this information is correct or not. There have been plenty of rumors that have come out before claiming that this game's coming to the Switch or not, and that that's never the case. See Call of Duty, World at War, or Black Ops 4 as an example. That said, given the relationship that Platinum and Nintendo has, it's certainly not out of the realm of possibility that Platinum could be working on several games for the Switch. What could they be? Well, the possibility could be the fact that they could be working on another IP with Nintendo. Perhaps there's a rumor about F-Zero as one example, though. Let's see. They could be reviving some old IPs to bring back to life again. like I said, I would love to see Mad World get another shot, though. As far as one of the games, I think my money, or where I'm leaning towards right now, is giving that little teaser photo they put out, and the recent comments that he said. I'm leaning towards the possibility that the Wonderful 101, to me, seems more likely that will get a port from the Wii U onto the Nintendo Switch. Given how we saw Bayonetta 1 and 2 come to the Nintendo Switch, not to mention we've seen a lot of games from the Wii U make their way over to the Nintendo Switch, ranging from Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker to Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. I wouldn't rule out the possibility that one of those games could be the Wonderful 101. As far as the other one goes, like I said, it could be a new IP, it could be they could be working on something, or revising maybe another game, to be exact. In my take, I would like to say, other than Mad World, which I mentioned that before, I would like to see possibly Vanquish make a comeback as well. That would be nice if that happens, but we'll have to wait and see. But overall, it's certainly not out of the realm of the possibility that PlatinumGames could be working on two more games for the Nintendo Switch. And like I said, I'm currently right now leaning towards one of those games possibly being a port of the Wonderful 101, which if that's true, I hope it does well this time around that it did on the Wii U. And hopefully that will be enough to convince them to maybe do a Wonderful 102, that or whatever sequel they want to call the Wonderful 101. It was an underrated game on the Wii U, though, and although there was somewhat of a learning curve, I liked the concept and the idea of drawing on the gamepad to do certain shapes and all. It was certainly one of the few games that actually used the Wii U gamepad properly, at least from my perspective, though. So hopefully we'll find out soon. Hopefully this rumor is true, and hopefully it is some of the games that I mentioned, or possibly a new IP, to be exact. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we're going to get to part 2 of our video, and this one has to do with some information that has come out about the upcoming No More Heroes Travis Strikes Again, if I'm saying the name correctly, though. So we'll take a quick break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with part 2 of our My 2 Cent video for this week. And for this one, we're going to be taking a look at No More Heroes Travis Strikes Again, or Travis Strikes Again No More Heroes. Apologize if I get the title wrong or anything like that. One of the games that I enjoyed during the Wii era was Sudas51's No More Heroes games, both 1 and 2. They were a fun hack and slash style of a game, and Travis Touchdown was certainly an interesting character. And Oka, if I'm saying the name correctly, or anime manga fan who happens to be also a gamer as well, and was armed with the beam katana, especially the interesting way of how he recharged his beam katana, which I'm sure there were a lot of jokes about that, though. Sadly, though, although it became sort of a cult classic and certainly a fan favorite, especially among some Nintendo fans, it didn't really sell as well, although I think the sequel didn't sell as much. Some of it could contribute to the fact that at the time, the Wii was kind of aimed towards mostly those whole casual families and all that stuff, despite the fact that there were some pretty good titles on the Wii, though, especially with games like Mad World and all that stuff, which unfortunately didn't exactly sell as well on the Wii. So last year, when it was announced that we would be seeing a No More Heroes game come to the Switch, my eyes perked up, and I certainly gave a big smile, especially when that reveal trailer showed, I think, Bad Dad battling out with Travis Touchdown. And then we got some more information about the game, especially where it's supposed to be several stages where you basically go inside to a video game console. And recently they did show some gameplay footage on it, and so far the reaction, at least based on the gameplay trailer, gameplay footage has been shown so far, has been kind of mixed as best, as some people aren't exactly happy with the direction the game is going. But we'll have to wait and see when the game officially comes out if it's as bad as some people make it out to be, or it's not as bad of it as all. I'm certainly will give the game a benefit of the doubt, even though it's not a traditional No More Heroes games like 1 and 2 is. I'm willing to try to tie it up myself. Well, apparently it seems as though that, at least if this information is correct, not only will we be getting a physical copy of the game over here, but it turns out to be Nintendo might be the ones distributing it. In an article, in several articles, this one from Nintendo Insider, it says, quote, that Nintendo has advertently, if I'm saying the name correctly, confirmed that Traffic Strikes Again, No More Heroes, okay, that's how it goes, so, will receive a physical release and post-launch support thanks to a season pass. In a new 3-minute trailer used to promote the fact that there are over 1,000 games for everyone on Nintendo Switch, the physical box art for Grasshopper Manufacturers and Gotcha Suda 51, Suda's Nintendo Switch exclusive, can be spotted at its conclusion, which states that it includes a season pass. This comes a week after a product listing on Amazon.com has leaked its existence, which has made a passing reference to the fact that the game includes the season pass that grants access to future downloadable content. Looking over at Amazon.com, it does show it up here, and right now they have the price set at $39.99 basically that means $40 though, and it does mention the season pass for future downloadable content. That's exactly what the season pass may include. Although nothing has been revealed yet, though, according to twininfinity.net, they're saying, quote, if you're wondering what the season pass will include, you'll have to wait a bit longer to find out, since developer and publisher Grasshopper Manufacturer did not confirm any details. What is known is that it will include an additional character, adventure scenario, and stage. So, if this is true that, if it's true that basically Nintendo is the one be publishing the game, if that is correct, or at least here in the West, though, honestly, I think that's a good thing. I mean, I would like to see Nintendo publish more M-rated games to the Nintendo Switch, okay? Now, that doesn't automatically mean they have to turn, Mario into an M-rated game, or Donkey Kong, or anything like that, but publishing games like, say, No More Heroes, or Bayonetta, or dare I say, I would like for them to maybe take another shot at Eternal Darkness, Sanity Requiem, or God, I forgot that name, or Geist for exact. I mean, I would like for them to do more of that, like either develop or publish more M-rated games for the Nintendo Switch. I mean, do it their own way. I'm not saying they have to copy Rockstar or CD Projekt Red or anything like that. They could do it their own way, but I would like to see more of that. As for the season pass and all that stuff, it's kind of interesting to see what the additional character is. And also, my guess, and this is just a wild guess, it could be either Travis's brother that could be additional character. It could be Shinobu that is both sort of a rival and kind of a love interest in a way. I'm not 100% sure about that though, but as interesting enough, another stage and another adventure mode is certainly neat though. But the fact that Nintendo is publishing this title certainly perks my interest, at least as far as here, I think, in the West and Europe. Let me double check that. So far, I haven't read anything about Europe. My guess is this probably could be that, but I could be wrong, to be exact, though. But the fact that they are publishing it, though, is a welcome addition. My hope is that the game is good, and my hope is that it does well enough that not only does it convince Suda51 to possibly do a port of No More Heroes 1 and 2 to the Nintendo Switch, but maybe this will open the door to the possibility of, say, a No More Heroes 3, a real No More Heroes 3 games for the Nintendo Switch. And Given the fact that Nintendo's publishing this, though, it may open the door to the possibility that maybe Travis Touchdown could make an appearance on, say, a Super Smash Brothers game, since there's been reports that supposedly we'll get some DLC fighters for Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. I mean, seriously, if we could have Solid Snake and Bayonetta, both M-rated characters in a game like Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, I don't see what's wrong with putting, say, someone like Travis Touchdown in there. Although I would be open to the idea of maybe Leon Kennedy from like Resident Evil 4. That would be nice if that would happen as well. But overall, if this is true, glad that Nintendo is publishing it. Hope the game does well and hopefully sells well enough that a port of No More Heroes 1 and 2 happens with No More Heroes 3. I would love to see that happen. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll get to part 3 of our video, and this one has to do regarding THQ Nordic. So we'll take a quick break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with part 3 of our My True Scent video, and for this one we're going to be taking a look at THQ Nordic. And lately they've been getting some attention so far, and a lot of it has been they've been buying up some studios and so forth, and seems to be wanting to bring the THQ brand back after it's kind of suffered a little bit a couple years ago when the company filed for bankruptcy, but it looks like they're trying to buy back a lot of their IPs and so forth and really bring the company back up to speed to where it is, to basically make it an important third-party publisher and developer. And apparently they've gained some attention from games that they are developing to some of the games they have announced. In an article in Nintendo Life, though, link will be in the description, it appears as though that THQ Nordic has so far announced, or THQ has announced currently that they are launching 3 games for the Nintendo Switch, that all of them will launch in 2019. While this isn't basically the only games, it's possible these may not be the only games. These seem to be the 3 so far at this time for 2019. And those happen to be Spink and the Cursed Mummy, the Book of Unwritten Tales 2, and the Raven Remaster. Both the Book of Unwritten Tales 2 and the Raven Remaster seem to be, at least according to the trailer that they showed off, Nintendo eShop titles, and my guess is Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy, it will probably be an eShop title as well. So no word on a physical release. Would like to see a physical release if it happens though, but for now it looks like all 3 of them will be Nintendo eShop titles, which, while they don't have an official release date, the article is saying that it should be released in early 2019, and they're looking at it at a price of $29.99, $30 to be exact. Meanwhile, according to comicbook.com, it looks as though THQ Nordic not only has acquired more studios, but they supposedly have a whopping 35 games in development. In the article, as I mentioned, from comicbook.com, the article says, quote, in a third quarter financial report provided by the company, THQ Nordic reveals that it has picked up 2 more studios for its group. Bugbear Interactive, the studio behind the racing game Wreckfest, and Coffee Stain Studio, the creator of the hit game Goat Simulator, are now under THQ umbrella and will no doubt produce big titles for them in the future. But that's not all. The company has also revealed that it has a whopping 35 unannounced games in development out of 55 in total. That's a lot considering the company just found its footing again a few years ago. No doubt out of these 35s we will see familiar franchises make a return, including the likes of Homefront, Saints Row, and the previously announced Time Splitter and Kingdom of Amalur franchise, which they also picked up though. No official yet, but we can't help but dream about what's coming our way. The fact that they have announced 35 titles so far, that's kind of insane, and I do hope that we do see those titles in the light of day, and I am also hoping that some of these could come to the Nintendo Switch. While there's no guarantee that all these titles will make their way to the Nintendo Switch, such as I think Metro Exodus, I could be wrong, but for now I don't see that coming to the Nintendo Switch. I mean, I think there was an attempt to bring Metro Last Light to the Wii U, but that never happened, to be exact. My hope is that we get basically Kingdom of Amalur Reckoning, a sequel to that one. That was a fun game that came out back in 2011, though. Shame that that became the downfall for 3/8 Studios and Kurt Schilling, if I'm saying the name correctly, and all that stuff. Though, so I'm hopefully that it not only a remake of that one, but a sequel does happen, provided if they could get it. I think, although I did hear somewhere that getting the original one might be difficult due to some issues with EA, to be exact. Homefront, I think that I would like to see another entry of that. I'm aware that Homefront Revolution didn't exactly lit up the charts, considering the game was buggy and all that stuff. I like the idea what they did with Homefront Revolution, but I think there were certainly some bugs and issues that should have been addressed. So hopefully, if that game gets another shot, I would like to see that get another chance, and I would like to see that come to the Switch as well. We know Saints Row 3 is coming to the Nintendo Switch. Hopefully it does well enough that we'll get a Saints Row 4, the Re-Election Edition, and maybe a Saints Row 5. And I would be down if they brought Agents of Mayhem over to the Switch. I know not everybody liked that, but you know what? I enjoyed it though. I mean, there were some cheesy stuff. I know they were kind of poking fun at G.I. Joe and everything, but I would like for that to come to the Switch. Time Splitter, obviously, though, they're developing a fourth one, although I would be open if they did a Time Splitter trilogy, to be exact. And again, I'm hoping these come to the Nintendo Switch as well, along with Second Sign. That would be great as well. So, overall, great that THQ Nordic is supporting the Switch, even though these are mostly ports of old games. Hopefully some of those 35 unannounced games so far do make their way over to the Nintendo Switch, and hopefully they do revise, Kingdom of Amalur, if I'm saying the name correctly, Homefront, Saints Row, and perhaps maybe some old ones like Red Faction and all that stuff. And it will be really interesting if somehow they do get back the WWE license from 2K or something like that. That would be interesting, considering that THQ was the original ones that held on to that license as well. So great that they're working on these 35 these unannounced games. Hopefully some of these games will see the light of day, and I do hope that some of them, while I would like for all of them to come to the Switch, I would be okay if some of them come to the Nintendo Switch. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll get to part 4 of our video, and this one has to do with an announcement about the upcoming Fate Extella, Extella, regarding a certain collector's edition for it. So we'll take a quick break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with part 4 of our My 2 Cent video for this week. And for this one, we're going to be taking a look at the announcement of a collector's edition coming to, for at least for Europe and Japan, mostly Europe, for the upcoming game Fate Extella, I mean Extella. I apologize if I'm not saying the name correctly or anything like that, though. Now, I do remember playing the first one when it originally came out on the PlayStation 4, and then got the one when it was ported over to the Nintendo Switch. And it was a fun hack and slash warrior style type of a game, even though I still think Fire Emblem Warriors and Hyrule Warriors are certainly the better game. This was still an enjoyable game to play, even though I'm not really a fan of the Fate series and all that stuff, although I should take a look at that series, to be exact. Well, it seems as though that it looks like Europe is going to be getting a collector's edition, especially for those for the PS4 and the Nintendo Switch. From a post posted on Marvelous's from Marvelous's site, it says, quote, that They talked about the fact that the game is set. Fate Extella Link is set for the release in the first quarter of 2019 across Europe and Australia. Although it's worth pointing out they also announced it for North America as well too. For PS4, Vita, Nintendo Switch, and PC via Steam. They are basically saying, quote, we are also excited to announce 2 special limited editions variations of the game for the PS4 and Nintendo Switch titled Emperor of Paladin Edition and Joyous Edition, both containing a flow of collector's items for fans to savor. Along with the game itself, the Joyous Edition contains a CD, a pack of 10 collectible 7 6cm by 12 7cm cards depicting each of the new servants, a 43.1 cm by 60.9 cm cloth poster, and a 6 cm by 11.4 cm Artsil, ACRYLIC, Delora, featuring the service Neo, Drake, and Sachas, SCATHACH, all housed in a custom presentation box. That's the Joyous Edition. The Emperor Paladin Edition content contains the game, PS4 and Nintendo Switch version, a soundtrack CD featuring 26 tracks, all the stuff that was mentioned in the Joyous JOYEUSC Collector's Edition, but it also adds supposedly a premium presentation box and supposedly a holy title of the moon Mahjong MAHJONG set with its own presentation box. Fans can pre-order the Joyous Edition for $74.99, I think euros or pound. I think that's pounds, and the Emperor Paladin Edition for $199.99 for the PS4 and Nintendo Switch exclusively from Marvelous Games website. It's worth pointing out the game mentioned that the online multiplayer is only available in PS4, Nintendo Switch, and Windows PC. No word on any cross-play or anything like that, though it would be nice though. It also points out that the Vita version will only be released as a digital version, while the PC version is being published by Xseed Games and will also be released a worldwide digital version of the game for Windows PC via Steam though. So while North America doesn't look like we're getting this or anything like that, according to Amazon, they do have what's basically the Fleeting Glory Limited Edition though for both the PS4 and Nintendo Switch, both set at $79.99. Basically $80, and according to what Amazon is saying, to be exact, it includes the game, either the PS4 or Nintendo Switch version, regardless of which version you go with, the soundtrack CD, the 3x5 servant cards for the 10 additional servants added to the Link roster, a 17 by 24 cloth poster, and a 3x4.5 Delora Arthix, ACRYLIC. Apologize if I'm not saying the name correctly. So, well, certainly though that it looks as though both North America and Europe will be getting a certain collector's edition, although it's going to be different for each and every one. And if you rather prefer the European one rather than the North America one, obviously since the Switch and the PS4 are both region free though, you can certainly basically import those if you prefer those version of a collector's edition or not. But overall, a little pricey on these collector's editions, but I'm sure there is an audience for it. For me, I am looking forward to getting the game though. I did like the first one when it came to the PS4 and then later came to Nintendo Switch, so I'm definitely picking this up. And it's also nice that Marvelous and Xseed are bringing the sequel to the Nintendo Switch as well. I would like them to continue to support the Nintendo Switch, and hopefully we'll see more of their games. I think the next one is that Serene Kagura pinball one, which hey, you know what? Bring it over. Just bring it over. I'm willing to try that one out as well. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we're going to get to part 5. And this one has to do with Bethesda and a comment they made about the creation engine that they will more than likely be using for their upcoming Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6. So we'll take a quick break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with part 5 of our My True Scent video, and for this one we're going to be talking about Bethesda and somewhat of a bit of a controversy regarding a decision they made for their creation engine and them using it for the upcoming Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6 that has gotten some fans not very happy with this decision. So during E3 though, two of the games that Bethesda announced at their presentation was Elder Scrolls 6, a game that a lot of Elder Scrolls fans have been waiting for a long time, even though you only saw like the logo and just a short little teaser, no gameplay to be exact. And the announcement of a brand new franchise, I think called Starfield, if I'm saying the name correctly though. Well, it seems as though Todd Howard and the folks at Bethesda said something about those games, about the engine that they will be using, that has gotten some people a bit upset about this. In an article from pushsquare.com, again, links in the description, they picked up this article from, I think, Forbes magazine, and it basically says that according to Todd Howard, he's basically said, quote, Fallout 76 uses a new render, a new lighting system, and a new system for the landscape generation. For Starfield and even more of its change, and for Elder Scrolls 6 out there on the horizon even more. Howard tells Forbes, confirming that future games will indeed utilize the creation engine. We like our editor. It allows us to create worlds really fast, and the modders know it really well. There are some elementary ways we create our games, and that will continue because it lets us be efficient, and we think it works the best, Howard explains though. Not everybody liked that response, or liked Todd Howard's answer to that, to be exact. Not everybody was a fan of the engine, to be exact, that powers a lot of their games, like Skyrim to Fallout 4 though. Skyrim though, I didn't get a chance to play that game on the PS3 or the 360. I only got a chance to try it out on the PS4 and the Nintendo Switch, and I enjoy the game though. I won't deny it has shown its age. Even Fallout 4, as much as I like that game, to be exact, you could tell that it's not exactly, it's far from perfect though. It's not a terrible game, but it's not exactly a perfect game, and I don't disagree that Bethesda, a lot of their open world games tend to have a history of being bugs and glitches and all that stuff. And so basically we've seen like some YouTubers like Young Yeah, if I'm saying the name correctly though, voice his opposition, voice somewhat of his concerns about the use of the creation engine, which got a response from Kotaku, who basically gave their reason in support of it, which then Young Yeah later responded to Kotaku's article, to be exact though. As for me though, I have to say I'm kind of mixed on this decision for them to continue using the creation engine. On one hand though, I think for them to use that engine does kind of open the door to the possibility, to a certain degree though, okay? Now again, I'm no game developer or anything like that, but the fact that they're using the same engine to power Skyrim may open the door to the possibility that we could see Elder Scrolls 6 and Starfield come to the Nintendo Switch. Again, this is not a 100% guarantee, and chances are we may not see them come to Nintendo Switch at all, though. But given the fact that they're using the creation engine, though, for it, though, it does open the door to that possibility. After all, the creation engine did power Skyrim on the Nintendo Switch, and surprisingly, the game plays fine on the Nintendo Switch. I'm not saying it's perfect or anything, but it certainly played fine based on my time with it, though. That said, I don't disagree with some of the criticism that the engine has made, especially with, Fallout 76 that are coming out, that online multiplayer only game where not everybody seems to felt like the game was buggy, not working well, and all that stuff. And the engine has had its share of criticism, as I said before, a lot of people have criticized Bethesda games being buggy or glitchy when at launch and all that stuff. So I can understand that, and I can understand the argument that perhaps maybe they need to look at perhaps other modern engines, like say Unreal Engine 4 to be exact. So I am kind of mixed on Todd Howard's decision to continue to stay with the Creation engine, though. Now, it's possible that the Creation engine could be, got some tweaks and all that stuff, and it may be enough that when Elder Scrolls 6 and Starfield comes out, the game would run fine at it, though. So we'll have to wait and see, but I also don't disagree with a lot of the criticism, though. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. We'll have to wait, but given some of the response we've gotten for Fallout 76 so far, how not everybody seems to be pleased with how the game runs and everything like that, I can understand some of the concerns some people may have with the idea of Bethesda continuing to use their Creation engine, especially with the upcoming Elder Scrolls 6 and Starfield. Okay, this concludes this My Two Cent video for this week. And again, these are my opinion. What are yours? What are your thoughts about PlatinumGames and the rumors of the fact that they're working on possibly 3 games for the Nintendo Switch? Do you think some of these could be maybe reviving, maybe like say an old IP like F-Zero? Do you think this could be maybe some new games to be exact? Do you think that one of those games could be a port of Wonderful 101 to even possibly a sequel like Wonderful 102 or whatever they're going to call it? Excuse me. What are your thoughts about the report that Nintendo will be publishing Travis Strikes Again No More Heroes, though? Are you pleased with that, though? Are you interested to see what the season pass is going to be all about? Is this a game you're looking forward to trying out when it comes out to the Nintendo Switch? What are your thoughts about THQ Nordic announcing supposedly these 3 games so far: Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy, and the Book of Unwritten 2, and The Raven remastered for the Nintendo Switch? Are you looking forward to trying these games out when it comes out either on the Nintendo eShop or a physical version, which I later learned and found out which I found out on Amazon, since they have placeholders for a physical version to be exact? And what about these 35 games that supposedly THQ is working on? Do you think these games will see the light of day? Do you think there's a possibility that some of these games could come to the Nintendo Switch? What are your thoughts about this announcement of Europe getting a collector's edition of Fate Extella Links, though? Is it worth the money to get, though? Do you plan to import that game to get that collector's edition, or do you feel like it's not really a big deal? Are you planning to get the game? Are you planning not to get the game? And what do you think about Bethesda's decision to stick with their Creation engine, especially for their upcoming game, Elder Scrolls 6 and Starfield? Do you think some people are blowing it way out of proportion? Do you think people have a right to be a bit concerned, possibly angry over the fact that they're what many perceive as an outdated engine? Do you think Bethesda should instead look at something like, say, Unreal Engine 4? Or do you think it's not really as big of a deal as some people are making it out to be? Do you agree with what I say on this video? Do you disagree? Do you have a difference of opinions? As always, sound off on the comment section below. Let me know what you think, and I hope you hit that like button. I would appreciate it. And I hope you do subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you do, make sure you hit the bell icon for notifications of any new videos I do. Also, feel free to share this video if you want to, and feel free to donate to my channel if you like. You could do it through PayPal Me or Patreon. Links will be in the description of this video. And I will see you again next time when I do another video. Hopefully that will be soon. Until then, from Southern California, I wish you all a good day then. Bye!